And welcome y bienvenidos a otro episodio de Raices Live. And welcome to another episode of Raices Live. Tonight we have some great guests here in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month 2021. And we're going to be talking about Hispanic cybersecurity in Latin American countries. So if that's what you're here for, stay tuned. And welcome back. So I'm so happy to have a lot of our friends on the stream here. I want to say hello to Shiny Buttons, to Cyber Warrior, to Studio Sec, William Bailey, and other folks that are joining us out there. Thank you for being here on a Wednesday night with us. We have some amazing guests today that we're going to be talking about cybersecurity, their careers in Latin America. So let's welcome our guests today. Hello, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Hey, guys.
All right. So with us, Alberto D. Hill and Sinhue Baez. How are you, gentlemen?
Hey,
I'm doing
good.
great.
Thanks for having me over.
Wonderful. Always welcome on our stream here. So, Alberto, how are you doing today?
I'm sleepy. I'm about to fall to sleep while speaking, but I won't show that. I'm full of energies. I'm glad to be here. I'm very, very
First
honored to be
question.
here. I don't know
First,
what you picked me up to be here because I'm just, I mean, I'm nobody.
Hey, that line is mine. You stole my line.
Okay, I said it before, so sorry. You're the man.
look who is here on the stream.
Oh, okay. We can compete with you. Okay.
Now,
How do
Cyber
you do to be so
SW.
awesome?
Oh,
Tell me the secret.
and Alma is telling you, wake up, Alberto. Hey, look, you guys are awesome. So let's start with Alberto. First question for you. Did you make your coffee?
Yes. How do you know? Are you hacking me?
I am hacking you. I have the
Oh,
cameras on in your apartment there.
wow.
Okay, so tell me, first of all, for the audience that doesn't know about you, can you give us a little bit about your career, how you made it into the cybersecurity world?
Well, I can begin when I was 10 years old, or I can begin after finishing college. It's up to you. What do you want? The long story
Tell us
or the?
what you went to learn in college and start from there.
Okay. Well, I got a degree on computer engineer here in Montevideo. Basically, when it came to cybersecurity, I learned nothing in university about cybersecurity. The only thing that was basically linked somehow to that was a class about systems auditoring in the last year. That actually was probably one of the classes that I enjoyed the most. But when it comes to I don't know, security in application, security in anything, there was nothing in college that I could. I mean, in that I was talking about between 1995 and 2001, and during that time in the courses, security was not an issue, was not considered, was something that nobody ever thought it was important. Well, little did I know. So after that, I graduated, and my first position was working as a incredible as a, in a criminal case as computer forensics for the first case in Uruguay that was related to a new law that was approved regarding child pornography, and production of child pornography and distribution of child pornography. It was the first case, and basically it was because of the police of Spain detected some content that was origin in Uruguay, so they sent to Interpol the report with IP. Interpol grabbed the phone, find who the IP belonged to. They raid the apartment of the person. They grabbed all the equipment, and well, I was in charge of performing that the computer forensic process for that criminal case, which for me was a big challenge because I had no prior knowledge about that, and I spent months learning by myself about everything that was involved in a computer forensic process because it was nothing. I mean, it's something that requires a lot of responsibility. It's not something that you can take it without. You have to be very serious because you're basically defining the life of a person with your work. So uh, you really, it's a lot of pressure, and I wouldn't have done it if I didn't feel I was competent to do that. So that was my first experience in cybersecurity, computer forensics, some a place that I think not many people begin with. It was strange. Then I started working as a freelance, conducting systems auditory. I am a member of CISACA since 2003. So that topic I also like, I enjoy. But the big opportunity for me to enter into this world was in 2009 when I was selected uh, to enter into the government, into the Ministry of Agriculture, that is an organization here in Uruguay that is very big, very important. I mean, Uruguay, the main is the product that we export the most is meat, and it's all handled by our systems there because we have a system that's called SNI, which is Sistema Nacional de Información Ganadera, which means that it traces all the life of an animal from the date it is born till it is it is sold for exporting or for consumption internally or outside, and it tracks all the events regarding its I mean, everything involving the health of the animal is recorded there in order to guarantee the innocuity of its product, which means basically our meat is being sold at prices that are much higher than the average of the market because we can guarantee that the product that we're selling has not been given with steroids or any other substance. The It has not been infected with any disease such as um, I don't know. In that time, we had the problem with the fiebre aftosa. I don't know how you say it in English.
Mad
Uh,
cow.
okay, but that though all the countries in the region have that problem, and the prices of their meat were
Mhm.
very low because of that. We didn't have that problem, so we sold the meat at prices that were like very above the average of the of the market. So I was starting working there, and then I ended up 5 years after that as the director of security of the Ministry of Agriculture of Uruguay, which for me was an amazing experience. Uh, I was I have a PMP certification as a project manager professional, which allowed me to lead a project to implement an information management security management system based on the ISO IEC 27000 series. That I am also certified on that, and that combination of the project management certification and the security background that I had mm, give me the opportunity to lead that kind of project, which for me was an experience that was priceless and opened me many doors. After that, I started working in the largest company in Uruguay, which was the petrol company, and
Mhm.
the security office of that company. That was a new office that the structure was that it depend directly from the general management. We were completely we had no links with IT. We were information security. Basically, IT had to report to us, which was something that IT didn't like at all. I mean, they hate us. I mean, that's something that we had to deal with. But living in a structure like that, which is basically the structure that is the best structure that is
Yeah.
possible. I mean, having an office that depends directly from the management and has no links with IT is the the best structure that I think we can have in order to manage security in an organization. Was very interesting. There were a lot of challenges, but I learned a lot because the size of the organization was huge. Awareness was a key in that organization. So we gave classes to 5,000 people, all the
Wow.
people that had access to a PC. We went to them and we gave them classes of awareness about information security. We really wanted everybody to be involved and to let them know that they were part of the organization and the information they handle was important for the information and for the organization, and they should take care of it. And well, it was something very gratifying to reach all those people that were working in different places. I mean, mm, not in offices. I mean, people that were basically in a ship receiving the petrol that we were buying from PDVSA. Basically, they were giving they were receiving our classes, so that was great. And then I decided to quit that job because I felt I couldn't provide more to the company. I felt like, okay, that's enough for me. Time to move on. So then I said, okay, what's next? And I said, okay, now the future is blockchain. I think that now I should focus on blockchain, and I have a background on cybersecurity. Okay, blockchain and cybersecurity. That's an interesting combination. Let's go for it. So I started working on blockchain, in particular big cryptocurrencies and security. I started researching, working on my own, and well, I really was doing very well at that until my life changed in 2017, but that's another story.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. That was great introduction. So let's move over. But before we go to Sinue, I'm going to ask everybody to please hit the like button, subscribe. The like button helps us with the algorithm here. So please hit that like button there. Thank you very much. And now let's introduce our other guest here, Sinhue Baez. So, Sinhue, tell us a little bit about you and your career and how did you get started in here?
Sure. Well, I'm a systems engineer. I work as a software development manager for an American company in Mexico. I lead a team of developers who specialize in integrating or flagship product or flagship software with different ERPs or external systems from our customers, right? And but I've always been interested in more broader topics such as digital culture, cybersecurity, which is a big part of it. Things like disinformation, misinformation, all of those things that come also from pseudoscience, science, and how all of that digital culture part affects our daily lives, right? So, it's been quite a ride, right? Because I come from a technical background, and then in 2016 I was given this opportunity to lead a team, and I had to switch a little bit, like switch gears, right, or switch to a different mindset, which was like, and I was like, oh, I have these guys to report to me. So what I'm supposed to do with them, how I'm supposed to interact, how I'm supposed to manage them, right? And it's been a growth process that started for me. And so I had to lean a little bit more on soft skills for a while, right? And I've been learning a lot how to connect with people, right? How to establish better bonds with people, how to show I care, because it's not that you don't care, but sometimes you're not really sure, like how can I approach people? How can we form a better team? How can we communicate better, etc., right? And that was like and I believe that process that I started was that made me to start having conversations with different types of professionals, including cybersecurity guys. So when this really cool feature, which is Twitter Spaces, came out, right? So I started like connecting with more people. Like I was having a lot of conversations with some cybersec pros, and then I was like, there was these three guys that I'm co-hosting spaces on a regular basis, which is Raúl Ábalos, Raúl León, Verónica Becerra, those guys that we are having those regular sessions. So I was like, hey guys, you post really good stuff, and have you been on a spaces session before? And they were, no. Well, because I think you should, because you have a lot of things to say. So why don't we don't organize a session and let's start talking about the different topics? Because I'm a guy with a lot of questions about cybersecurity. I've like always studied the basics, because we all have a part on it. As a developer, as a software engineer, I have a part of cybersecurity. The cybersecurity touches everything, right? Exactly, and that's so true. That's been traditionally an afterthought, So, but this has to change, right? And yeah, we can talk a little bit more about it, but yeah, essentially that's the way it is, as traditionally is. And but yeah, I was like, so I have a lot of questions. I study about cybersecurity. I get informed. Because those things have made their way from their probably, it was like, let's say 10 years ago, the cybersecurity incidents were on probably behind the finances pages in the newspapers. Now they are on front pages, right? Yeah. So if you don't want to show up in a front page, you better you better pay attention to cybersecurity if you don't want to make the front page, right? So now because IT and technology touches also a lot of our lives, right? So, and again, like I've been in contact with that world one way or another, and fascinated and attracted to that world, and I was exchanging um, information with them, opinions, etc., this and that, articles, and I was like, I mean, I have a lot of questions, guys, and I've seen that you guys have very good content, I mean, a lot of good stuff to say. So let's start having these conversations, and maybe we can include the community in Mexico, and hopefully from other regions, from Latin America, and also from and maybe we can we can get involved people that is not from a non-technical background, maybe. And then so that's how I started having these conversations, like going from the basics and trying to have a low brow approach to these things, to make it more accessible, like more in plain Spanish, right? For the matter. And yeah, so we started talking about these things, right? And I've been learning a lot from them, and I have had this wonderful opportunity to get to know a lot of people. That's how I met you, Eric, and you, Alberto, also, right? So it's been, it's been fabulous, right? So otherwise, otherwise it will be very difficult to meet, So thanks to the technology, we can network, we can find each other, and then we can connect, right? And so I've been having these conversations, and I meeting a lot of cybersecurity folks in Mexico, like get the ball rolling on the on spreading awareness. That's what we are trying to do. There's a lot of things that we that we need to talk, and so in essentially we need to get the people involved and make them aware about cybersecurity. And I think that pretty much summarizes my my history with cybersecurity.
Well, two things that I'm going to ask you. So Raul is the one that sounds like Don Francisco from Sábado Gigante, right?
Probably.
Hola, ¿cómo está? And so, we talk about why we founded Raices, and one of the pillars of Raices is that networking, being able to bring in the Hispanics, the Latino, the Latinas, and Latinx communities from all the countries, because we have, people don't understand that Hispanic also include our brothers and sisters in Brazil. Okay. And
Okay.
they get really left out. So we're going to try to bring them in.
Okay.
We're going to try to do more of this in, and I asked the other day, should we do these in Spanish as well? These YouTube's lives in Spanish. And we have I think I saw about 300 people in Mexico that wanted to do this, in Colombia, Mexico, Colombia. I think we had Peru, some dude from Uruguay. I don't know. He wants to do Spanish. So, okay. So, Mr. Alberto, have you experienced working for international companies, and what would you say the difference for a cybersecurity professional working in Latin America? What are the difference that you see from working in, and Sinhue can talk about the, working for an American company, but you worked for a petrol company that had other connections with other countries. Tell us about working in cybersecurity in Latin America, and the different laws and the different things that you think are still needed, working in Latin America?
Well, when it comes to legislation, our country is mm, very advanced. I must admit that we have laws that well began in mid 2000s with data protection laws that basically were created in order to have to be able to install call centers here. Uh, Sabre, for example, is installed here. So basically, those laws were created in order to enable those companies to work from Uruguay to serve uh, other countries. Uh, because of course in other countries that require certain requirements in terms of the way the data is, the private information of the customers is being handled, and without those laws those call centers wouldn't have been able to run from here. But then we uh,
I messed it up.
okay.
We can invite them.
uh, Brazil, um amigo. Brazil, uh, I love Brazilians. They,
They're brothers
yeah.
and sisters
Oh,
too.
I know. Not only I love Brazilians, they have so many skilled and wonderful people in cybersecurity that are
That's true.
amazing. That
True.
I really admire. So the community of cybersecurity in Brazil is amazing. They have great hackers. I'm colorblind, as I said, so I can't tell whether they're black hat, white hat, or not. But they're wonderful. That's what I got. No, yeah. No, well, then we have laws regarding the way security should be handled in the government. So in 2009, there was a law that was approved that forced every organization in the government to have one person that was should be the person in charge of the security information security of that organization. That was a must. Then each organization should have a computer security policy, and they should also have a risk policy regarding security. Not like now that risk is when it comes to security and the ISO EX norms uh, talk about operational risk. No, in that time we were talking about information security risk, and well, basically having a person responsible for security and a policy about security and a risk management policy was required. The person in charge of security was the person that was the one that should, for example, report every incident in the organization to the CERT of our country. So they were tracking, and they were basically centering all the incidents that were going on in order to to collaborate, because in the places where I work, we have security problems. We have things that uh, went wrong, and well, we appear on the front page of many newspapers. Sometimes
Not good.
the information was completely inaccurate, and we were getting bad publicity without any reason because they just wanted to hit us. And I mean, sometimes we did receive bad publicity because we deserved that, but the CERT was always there in order to give us a hand, because in security, imagine 3,000 people organizations as the Ministry of Agriculture had how many people in security?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. So
I've been in
that person
organizations where you've got 10,000 people and you've got 3 people in the security.
Yeah, and that person was me. So uh, without the help of the CERT, I mean, I would be the most frustrated people in the world without being able to do anything. So whenever a problem was was happening, the support of them was very useful in order to well, first to get their input, to get the support, and then to take actions in order to solve them and to handle each particular situation. Uh, then we, as I said, we implemented. I was in charge of a project implementing an information management security system based on the ISO 27000. So we had a policy regarding the information security. We did one about risk. A great task was to make an inventory of all the assets of the institution, which was wow. It was initially planned as a something that was going to take 6 months. It took 2 years, but we did it. It was a
Well,
great milestone.
if you don't know what you don't have, you can't secure it.
Absolutely, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, it was a lot of effort, but it was something that had to be done. And to do that, the collaboration of everybody, I mean, being able to interact with everybody, with every part of the organization, being the person that had to talk to everybody, make them understand the value of the information they could provide, their knowledge of the things that the processes they were running in each part of the organization was like a big challenge. And basically, after doing that, I knew the organization like the back of my hand because uh, you get to know the organization like, I mean, it's an experience that it's unique. I mean, you know everything and you get to know everybody and you have to understand how to deal with everybody because as in every place there are people that are conflicts between humans because everywhere where there are humans there are conflict problems and you have to be in the middle trying to be polite, try to I don't know, uh, you have to do your work and it's not easy, but you eventually learn to how to do it. And it was a very challenging project, but it was the outcome was good. The only problem is that I left the organization and then the system stopped because they spent on me a lot of money on uh, training. I mean, I got certified on the 2017 because they paid for the courses for me. I got certified on the 20,000 regarding for the best ITIL, but ISOIEC. They spend a lot of money on me, but they never considered that I would eventually be tempted to leave the organization. So
that's
it
a
was
challenge that a lot of organizations have is, do we train people because once they get a training,
Right.
they're going to leave.
Right.
No.
they took for granted I was going to stay there forever. They never realized that what one day I will come to the office of my boss and I will say, okay, I have this opportunity to grow and I think I will take it. Okay, okay, they went like crazy. They offered me like everything I wanted I could have, which was a lie. I mean, they just were like offering things that I knew they wouldn't be able to provide me, and they weren't things that I was actually looking for. Actually, I was looking forward to growing professionally, and that's why I changed my position. But the learning is that, okay, you have a person that is 5 years in an organization that gets to know everything, everybody, gets to know the organization so well. I mean, in terms of security, it's not something that happens overnight. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort. The money they spent on my education was a lot of money, and you should consider that that person might leave one day, one might come to your office and say, I have this offer, but they never consider that. They were not prepared for that, and that's sad. I mean, that's something that every organization should. I mean, I think every organization is aware this is a particular case, but that happened in my situation. So to answer your question, basically, we have lost regarding security and the government, and apart from those, we have lost regarding um, the information that is stored in the governmental systems in Uruguay. For example, all the information from the organizations of the government should be stored in data centers in Uruguayan territory. You cannot, for example, have a system stored in Amazon Web, or in any cloud provider, unless it is in Uruguay part. I mean, you have to have the information in Uruguay if it is about the government. And one thing that happened, believe it or not, is that people, for example, was using personal emails for work. For example, your name at gmail.com to send email related to your work. Well, that was completely prohibited. You had to use your institutional mail for communications, and when it came to sending certain kind of information as confidential information, you had to send it encrypted, pretty good privacy. Uh, those things were enforced in the year 2014. So that's what we have in terms of laws about cybersecurity and the government here.
So let me ask Sinhue in Mexico, so to answer that same question. So you have a different perspective because you work for an international company, a U.S. Mexico company. So
Right.
how has working in Mexico with um, you know international companies helped you, or how have been your experience?
Right. So what I've seen as far as cybersecurity is that I've seen in companies that I've worked for or that I've consulted with. So what I've seen is in general very good policies, right? But on paper mostly, because in practice it's a whole different story. I mean, at least the foundation is there, but there's a long way to go, right? So it's mostly practices, So because it's I think it's almost the same story everywhere, because I've seen the same in the US and also in the UK, right? Also in Central America. I mean, good policies, but the people, we are the weakest link, right? So really, we really need to educate the people, and this is something that has been my question, and that's something that I talked with Alberto when I met him, right? Because that's one of my biggest questions. But I think that there's almost a consensus on that, that we really need to educate the people, because we're the weakest link. So there was this incident that happened in one company in Mexico, in which, so this was 2000 something, the 2000s decade, right? So there was this time in which you received a lot of emails with a lot of email change, urban legends and stuff like that, saying that, hey, if you resend this email like X number of times, this kid that is sick of cancer is going to receive a treatment, right? So X Foundation is going to donate something, right? And
Every time you share the email.
right. So everybody was sharing that email, was resending that email. So first, education, because when you understand how the email works, you understand that there's nobody counting, tallying the emails. There's no way to do that, right? So, but the people in that company took the server down in one afternoon. And I was like, I told the infrastructure and networking chief. So I told him, hey, I think that we need to educate people. And he told me, no, that's not my job. And then I was like, okay, who's this, right? Because I don't see anybody else that is up to that task around here. I mean, there's nobody else. I mean, who's gonna do that, right? So there must be something that we can do to educate users, and that thing continues. I mean, spam is not as as a big problem as it used to be in prior decades, but we now have different threats, and it's essentially the same. It's a social engineering, and so those kind of threats that essentially play with. It leverages all the basic human instincts of helping or believing things or greed, very fundamental things that it's, again, education. So I saw this company in Raleigh, in North Carolina. So the security guy sends frequently emails, like kind of phishing emails to his coworkers, to all the company. This is a practice that he does. Like, hey, click on this link and you'll participate to win this prize or this or that. And the guys that fell for that, I mean, they at least he gives a piece of his mind, but yeah, he talk with them, and then he keeps like this continuous process of educating them. He's constantly testing them, right, and see how is that education level going, right? So I think that those are the kind of things that we need, because most of the time it's not like it's not that the attacks are gonna start and are gonna happen to secret agents or to to government agents or something like that. So it's gonna happen to the regular guy, to the average Joe that finds a thumb drive, laying on the floor before right before checking in the office, right, and plugging that thumb drive in their computer, right, and opening the gates to hell. So this is, it starts like that. It's not something that is gonna happen to to a secret agent working overseas, right, like a movie plot or something like that. I mean, we all are gonna get involved or are gonna have the chance to prevent this stuff, so we can actually do something, and even ourselves, our own personal security, right? So if we receive a text that says, "Hey, is that you in this video?" Right? So, I mean, it begins with the the human element. So. But yeah, so I've seen good policies, but it's the people. It's also that feeling that security policies create unnecessary, quote unquote, unnecessary bureaucracy, right? So sometimes you're working on a project and, hey, I need access to this other server, but the infrastructure security team is gonna take forever for them to give us access, and it's such a hassle. But I mean, it's something that is necessary. It's a protocol, and it's better to be safe. But all the people see those things as as setbacks, as blocks, and essentially as blocks that prevent us from making progress. But those are necessary things. right? And also the other thing that I've seen in the software field is that there's a good deal of technical depth in you know in the code bases for different products that were started like several years ago in again in an era in which security was an afterthought, you know. So Alberto is sending us a message that says,
No, thank you, Lola.
okay, I thought it was a yeah an encoded message. So, but
No,
yeah,
it wasn't plain text.
but I mean, yeah. So that's what I've seen. So I believe that there is a there is a generally extended necessity of educating people. That's the most basic need that I see, because as far as practices, as far as safe architectures in everything, I've seen that everybody is pretty good, pretty decently on that regard. But we really need to start educating the human resources.
Our audience thought that Alberto was saying that they have taken me hostage. So I love it. All right, guys. So I'm going to take a pause real quick and introduce my partner on New Battlefields and the host of Security Happy Hour, Mr. Cyber Warrior, bringing him in here for the end of our program here.
What's going on, guys? Alberto, once again, hello.
Don't hug me, sir.
Sinhue.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We've talked a little bit in Discord. Eric,
Right.
always a pleasure.
Right.
It's good to be on here, to be honest, because you know this is something that Eric, me and you have talked a lot about, Raices, and just what it means to the community and what it means in general, because you know, and we brought it up earlier in the chat. It's not all about just Hispanics and Latinos and Latinas and everything else like that, which, yes, it helps get them involved, but it's the allies as well. And it's everybody. And so seeing what you're doing with this and how it's growing, I can't help but say, you know, I can't wait to see what we do from here. I really can't. We got so much growing to do and so much potential. I really hope to see this, you know, as they say, go to the moon and you know, just keep growing.
Yeah, and I wanted to do like I said on Twitter, I had a big announcement today for Raices. So I am going to share my screen right here. So as you guys all know, Raices Cyber, our 501c3 organization, so where we're the Hispanic Association Cybersecurity. We just did two big things. So we have a new page on the website that has all our officers and all the people that are supporters in the different communities. See somebody here? I don't know.
I know
Somebody?
that guy.
And
He's
so these
dangerous.
are all the folks that are supporting us. So go navigate to our new page, meet the team. If you are interested in knowing more about us or you want to volunteer, come over here and take action. And you can please donate to support to our organization, as well as come over here and help us grow the community. So volunteer with us and help us set different organization and groups within your areas. So please, we have that. And we just started a new store for our merchandise, and
Wow.
all of this, 100% of this supports Raices Cyber and how we grow. So we're going to be adding a lot more stuff here. So please go ahead and visit us at the www.raicescyber.
Do you ship to Uruguay?
I do indeed.
Wow.
So visit our website at raicescyber.org. Follow us on Twitter at raicescyber.org. So just wanted to do that. That was a big news that we have. We have a new Meet the Team. We have a new store, new donations. We're going to be starting our membership drive here towards the end of the month. So we're working to growing different chapters in Latin America. We now have, Alberto's going to be running our chapter in Uruguay. We're hoping that there's a gentleman that we have here that might want to work in Mexico City.
Sure, definitely. Hey, yeah. So yeah, I'll be glad to do it. I'm really humbled to be considered. Here's what I think. I think that there will be more than one guy that has more merits than I do, but I'll definitely be honored to do it. Definitely, for sure. So
thank you very much for that. It would be great to have you. And please let us know, and everybody is, so if they want to do a Raices live in Spanish so that we can do these shows. So please, tomorrow when we're doing this, comment on the video below. While you're out there, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and grow this organization, grow this community. The 4 pillars, I always like to talk about the 4 pillars of Raices and what makes us. It's the networking, the events, the support and mentoring for basically all Hispanics, Latinos, and the allies. And so we've got the mentoring, the events, the education component, and we will be announcing very soon that our organization is going to have a foundation that's going to be called Raices Kids. So it's a foundation to start bringing in Hispanics, Latinos, Latinx that we want to introduce the concepts of the different cybersecurity, not just say cybersecurity, but these are the different career paths within the cybersecurity that you can do. If you're technical, you have these. If you are non-technical, you've got, like with Sinhue and the development side of the house, the development security operations or the application security. Derek, some more there on the application
GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Look, risk is huge. And if you work on the defensive side of things, whether it be AppSec, DevSecOps, or even on a general blue team, working with your GRC team is huge because that risk, that governance, the compliance, it all feeds hand in hand. You can't put technical controls in place if you don't know what the regulating body is. So you need to be able to have both of those. And if you don't, then you're going to have issues. So yeah, GRC, definitely, for sure.
I think that one's for you, Alberto.
Because nerds wear glasses, I missed the prior part probably. I am not a nerd to begin with. Am I a nerd? I don't think so.
Oh yes,
you 3 are.
We are very.
Okay, well, I am not a nerd anymore.
Hey, being a nerd is cool. Okay,
It
I am
is
not a nerd
indeed.
anymore. There's only 2 nerds.
It is cool.
There you go.
You are waiting to put that up,
Eric. All right, so gentlemen, I want to have you guys say some final words here. So I'm going to start with Alberto. Take us out, my friend here.
Well, first, Eric, I would like to congratulate you because this initiative that you started with Raices is something that I consider is wonderful. There was something that uh, it, it was needed, and you are doing. I mean, I was last Sunday in the presentation that you made. You are doing a wonderful professional work. It's not like something amateur on the run. No, man, you are spending a lot of time of energies to doing things in an organized way. I mean, I have no words to describe it. I mean, I would hire you to, if I open an organization, I would hire you to to be in charge of it. Now, really, you are doing a wonderful job, and the the
Thank you.
the objective of all this is something wonderful, and it's going to be a success without any doubt, because working in a professional way like you're doing with so amazing people involved in this, being engaged, there's no other option than succeeding. So thank you very much, Eric, because you were the one who kicked off this. And well, I am here to support you, and everybody here is engaged in this initiative. And well, it's wonderful. Congratulations. And well, I hope to have an event here in Uruguay to have all of you visiting my country.
You don't know. I can't wait to go to Montevideo because
Okay, well,
every time that you post pictures on your Twitter, and folks, I have the the Twitter handles for everybody in the description of the video on YouTube. So come to the YouTube. There's the videos, and Alberto's always posting pictures of Montevideo at night. That's
yeah, you have to point
and
out that at night.
at night,
Why would that be at night?
beautiful, beautiful pictures. All right, Sinhue.
All right. So thank you very much for having me over. I'm really humbled to be here. So it's been really nice to meet you guys. And so you are such accomplished professionals of cybersecurity. I've been learning a lot from you guys, and looking forward to have the opportunity to contribute and collaborate with Raices, which is a very, very wonderful initiative. So I really like to thank you, Eric, for starting this. Thank you, all you guys, Cyber Warrior, Alberto, for working on this, for helping Latinos to break through the cybersecurity industry. And well, I hope to have more opportunities to keep talking and collaborating with you. The future looks fantastic. Thanks so much.
Cyber Warrior, tell us what's coming up this week on Cyber Warrior Studios.
So this week, actually, so as I don't know if anybody's watched, I did a few Security Onion videos on Tech Tuesday, and so this Friday, I actually have one of the principal engineers for Security Onion coming on, Wes Lambert. So he's going to be on the show for Security Happy Hour this week, on top of all the other episodes we've done. But it is amazing to get him on. And on that note, just so y'all know, Fleet, which is for OS Query, which is embedded in Security Onion, just followed me on Twitter, so that makes me happy. How to put that out there. But no, it's going to be an amazing episode. I'm looking forward to it. I love open source. I love, anything that's free to the public and can be used to secure systems. And Security Onion just adds so many different layers. So I'm very excited for that episode, and I'm excited for tomorrow's new Battlefields. To be honest, if you're doing it, Eric, I'm definitely. I love being on new Battlefields.
I am going to be sending out a late notice for new Battlefield tomorrow morning. So thank you very much. Please join us tomorrow on new Battlefield. And if you like what we're doing here, raicescyber.org, please go there, donate to our cause, support us there by join the newsletter, and I hope to see you guys soon. Tomorrow for New Battlefield, Friday for Security Happy Hour, and on Mondays we have a new addition to the family, which is the Studio Sec Monday Lives that he's doing. Please go ahead and follow all these wonderful people. You learn so much from these streams, from the technology, from the video that these guys are doing. Follow all our guests on Twitter, and we'll see you real soon.